Let's begin this way. All these figures that periodically comes from your office, was just listening to your boss. What should it mean to Ghanaians?
Okay, so it gives a sense of how prices of things that we buy on the market are changing. And so when we are recording positive and higher figures, all that we are trying to draw attention to is the fact that those products are becoming relatively expensive.
Again, then, another nagging question on the minds of the people. Inflation. What is inflation?
So inflation, it's a bad friend, and I put it simply, in my own words, that for me, inflation is a robber, it's a thief, it's an armed robber. All that it does is that the money that you have worked for, you wake up early morning, you go to your studio to do a good job, and at the end of the month, you are paid a certain salary. Let's say you are given 1,000 Ghana cedis. So if inflation is, let's say, 10%, what it means is that it is stealing 10% of the 1,000, that's about 100 Ghana cedis, from your money every month. That's what it means.
So it means that you have a certain value at the beginning, but by the time it ends, that value is not what you actually had.
Exactly. And so what you have necessarily used the initial value to buy, now because of inflation, you may not be able to buy all those products.
So if 100 cedis could get me 5 loaves of bread, if inflation shoots up, I may not get all the 5. I could get 3 bread.
You may not get all the 5. And even if they force to give you all the 5, the weight of the 5 will not be the same. It will shrink.
So that is what inflation means in the layman's understanding.
Exactly, my brother.
Now, food inflation is one of the things that we heard the Prof talk about over and over again. Per the figures, we see that food inflation has gone up, and he did a region-by-region assessment. What does that mean? Does it mean that the prices of food on at the markets that will eventually translate to what we have on our dining table then will now become more expensive or have become expensive?
In fact, it has become expensive. And so we try to put a lot of emphasis on the food inflation because, food is for our survival. And it's a commodity that even the ordinary man and the poor depend so much. So it is those who are the middle income, the wealthy, they depend on a much of Lazarus item and they spend few of their money on food. But the poor person spends majority of his income on food. And so if food is becoming expensive, it's a cause of worry. And so what we're saying is that now food prices have become about 50% more expensive than it used to be a year ago. And so we all have to put our attention to it and make it available so the ordinary man or the poor will not become too vulnerable.
What has caused this food inflation? We do know that we have the likes of planting for food and jobs. We're told that food is available. If it's available, it's supposed to be cheaper. So what really accounts for the high cost then?
Okay, so if we speak specifically to the month in reference, the month of May, then I would say that 3 factors come to mind. One is the season that we find ourselves in. So indeed, if you go to the market, if you go to rural areas, you realize that these days, something like cassava, for example, is becoming relatively scarce. And other products are, almost out of season. We probably may be hitting the harvest season in the next 2 or 3 months thereabouts. So that is one. The second one could also be other input costs or other things that affect those who produce the food. So, for example, and this is what between the human behavior. Some taxes were introduced last month and the utility prices have gone up. So the farmer ordinarily will say, okay, well, my land bill has gone up and it is a cassava that I sell to get money to pay my bill. And so if the bill has gone up, let me also increase the price of my cassava to be able to meet my daily expenditure. So that could also be one. Now we're not attributing it to transport because we know transport fares are relatively stable. So basically, these are the 2 main things that can come off my head, but we can do more further research to know what boosts the food prices are.
Mr. Agyahor, are you able to measure, for example, what the former Greek minister did in terms of bringing food items at the cheaper rate to sell at the ministry? It's been some months now. Did your research or your findings for the month of May and before that, the quarter by quarter analysis, did it capture that?
Okay, so specifically at the centers where they were selling those items, we did not include that in our basket because we normally talk about a fixed location over time and fixed item. But I will be quick to add that indeed, if you have done some analysis about the data, you realize that somehow it had effect. Because remember, prior to that time, we were recording high prices of food items, and Accra was becoming a challenge. And so when they brought that in, and that was around December, around the Christmas time, you realize that just after December, when we peaked, in January, February, March, and April, we saw some decline in the prices of food. And so, you will not be far from the right by saying that indeed it contributed to that trend. And you realize that even these days, Accra has dropped from being the high, region in terms of inflation, to somewhere, in the middle. So, yes, you could say that it did have a role.
I see that you went through 57 markets, 8,337 outlets, 47,877 products every month for 16 regions to be able to have come to this conclusion. These markets, how did we go about the collection of this data? Did we inform them ahead? Did we just buy them? Because people are beginning to ask questions that Statistical Service says this one is this, but when I go there, it doesn't look like it. What can you share with us?
Okay, so the distribution of these markets we talk about is based on a certain sample method that we use, and we take the regional population into consideration. And so these markets are spread across the regions, and we go there every month. We don't give them prior information per se, but these are people that we've been working with for, I think, the past 2-3 years. So they know us, they know our people. We are also part of the market. So we go there, and we go that I don't go to the market to buy. There are some we don't buy. Like those in the, let's say, for example, the shops and the malls, those items are there displayed with their price tag. So we just go and pick the price that has been displayed on the label. There are those that we pick from the open market, like the grocery market where we want to buy cassava and yam. So by the time you go there, even place them down. This one is 10 cedis, this heap of tomato is 5 cedis. So we weigh, and we pick the price. There are some, unfortunately, the people will not allow us to touch it without buying. So those ones like fresh fish and other perishable things, we are forced to buy, as any customer will buy, and then we take the price and the weight of it. Now, people saying that, this one they say is this inflation of this is gone down, but when I went, people should also, and that's why yesterday we did another report, we called price variability report.
Right.
And it was so clear that even within the region, let's say Greater Accra, you find disparity in the prices. So maybe Mokola will be selling the one item at a different price. You go to Agbogbrosi or you go to Medina, it's different price. And so the human beings also have their own characteristics of determining their price levels. So that's why probably what you buy may be different from the average, but what we give is the average of price levels or price changes.
Well, I do know that these figures are supposed to influence policy and give the people some cushioning going into the future. What has been the usage of these figures that you churn out month on month, especially for policymakers, government, and all the big men and women? How do they use these figures to make sure that people are comfortable?
In fact, my very, very, very good question. And I keep saying in my office, I think it's the time to be the head of prices at another time. I think now the uptake in inflationary data has become so high, even amongst you, the media. This is what you look at this morning. You get engaged in interrogated data, you are informing the public. And luckily for us, policymakers, and so this is when it comes to the time of releasing inflation, I'm worried because I know I'll be tracked here and there. The Minister of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, the Agric Ministry, and even the Information Minister, Mr. Ponkoma, has become a friend now. Come and explain. Let me educate my people when I will take it to cabinet. So I think the uptake now is becoming very, very high. I think it's good for us because then we can plan based on that, and then be able to control, the adverse effect that will have on our people.
Will we ever get to a point of a single-digit inflation, or maybe even a negative inflation? Will we ever get there?
A negative inflation, I don't think any country will even pray for that. No, but single-digit inflation, why not? In fact, myself, this month the figure came to me as a shock, because when I saw the way we're dropping from the 54 and we go to almost 41.2, I was even thinking we keep. So but for the taxes that we introduce and the utility tariffs, when we don't see much of those things going forward again, we wouldn't be, even if we don't end the year at that level, we might not be too far from it. But the challenge will be, you might not know what policies will come up as we go ahead. If other increments come, for example, like petrol prices, other taxes or other fees are introduced, then there'll be a challenge.
I see. Well, look at the national level issues for wider engagement. But before that, let's drill down a bit into the negative inflation. You say no country would be praying for that. What does a negative inflation mean, for example?
I think the fear about that one is that when prices fall so much, it will not be an incentive for the producers. So when they begin to make losses, they'll go out of business. We want the product to survive. And that is why you wouldn't want to go to a level where, people go out of business and then the economy crashes.
What would be for you as a principal statistician the optimal inflation level that Ghana as a country, looking at our economic situation and all of that, should be pegged at, should be the ideal situation?
For me, I would say that anything above 6 and below 10, the single digit that should be above 6 and below 10. I say so because yesterday we highlighted it in our price variability report. You see, until we formalize our economy, where, for example, if you want to buy cassava, you can walk straight to the store and say, I want a kilogram of cassava. And the price is, let's say, 10 cedis. But now what is causing the effect is that some people just look their eyeball to say, okay, this heap of cassava is 10 cedis. And so those things will continue to have effect on us. If we are able to standardize the way we price things, then we could be targeting rates that are lower than 5%.
Do explain this to me. There's a slide here. The national level issues for wider engagement. Non-food, local inflation 13, and into bracket 9.1. There's non-food imported 54. That's 37.8%. There's also food imported 26. That's 18.2%. And then there's food local 50. That's 35.0. Explain to me, what does this mean?
Okay, so what we try to do there is also help inform policy. We are saying that there are a number of items that recorded inflation or price change above the national inflation figure of 42.2. And then we try to put them into their categories so that it will help policy targeting. And so we say, for example, as you mentioned, if you say imported food, the 26 that you have there, you see that we have 26 of items that are imported.
All right.
That recorded prices above the national average.
So
this constitutes 18.2% of the total.
Chicken, oil, all those
exactly,
sugar.
Imported rice, tea, and all those things, yes. 92.7. And then, if you talk about the local food, and that's what the challenge is. So you see, for local food, we have as many as 50 items. These are things that we can produce locally.
Right. And
so if you are pointing to that about 50 of them are having prices above the national inflation average, then we should pay out. Is it irrigation that we can do? Is it that we need to cut it from where it's abundant to where it is highly needed? So these are things that are within our domain that we can, when we're able to control it, it will help bring inflation.
Tomorrow is Friday. Soft drinks, water, alcoholic beverages, pork, dog meat, palm wine, and I've seen palm wine, dog meat, and all of that. The inflation for that has gone up. Ice cream as well. These are things that help the Friday night for people to let their head down and wind down. Why is inflation touching these things?
In fact, if you ask regular patrons of this alcoholic beverage events, just last week, even the non-alcoholic beverage, the soft ones, I think for almost the past 2-3 months, almost every 2 weeks or so about the increase of prices. Some they will tell you it's because maybe like utility prices have gone up, water has gone up, they use water a lot, electricity have gone up, they use electricity. So they are increasing their prices, and that's what this is reflecting. It is capturing the price increases that we are recording in those, and it's making our Friday night become less and less, enjoyable. You go to some pubs, a kind of Coke is about 12 or more. One used to be about 7 cents or so. So we all have to work to make sure things calm down so that we can enjoy the Friday night and then the ordinary days and enjoy our chicken and our fufu well.
What role can the public play? I mean, of course, you have done the research, you have given us the figures. We expect that official DOM will formulate policies that will tone down inflation. But what role can the public play?
I think as a public, have to first say, thank you to you, the media. You people have done so well for us. There are a lot of the prices that are put on the things, not because of, necessary cost factor, but because of human behavior. But because you're making that awareness, things are beginning to... If I just placed a call to one supplier of mine for something, and she just told me, well, she doesn't have it now because she's heard that they're going to be reduction in price on Monday. And therefore she wants to wait for the reduction before she go for the new stock. So when we begin to create that awareness and we are bringing out the analysis that these detail one items, and you are mentioning, last month, because of what you did, Guta had a meeting with their members, and they were telling them inflation has gone down. Your things are too priced up. Can you come down? And they also said, well, it's too early. Let us observe whether inflation is going to stabilize. So I think the public education and the awareness you people are creating is indeed having impact. And when you continue on that, I'm sure it will play to the conscience of people, and we begin to let the realistic price come.
In terms of also, beyond Guta and other those established organizations, you spoke about a formalization of the economy. The suburb corners where you have these confectionery shops and tabletop shops, the pricing of those items sometimes are way ridiculous beyond what you can think about, because there's monopoly. First of all, it's a corner store, they don't have competition, and so they do what they like. Does that also have an impact on inflation?
Yes, it does. We need big prices for them to be a part of our sample. And I think, as we were trying to talk about, this is where now we are making the emphasis on the local authorities, the district assemblies, and then we can take this up. When they begin, unfortunately, our law doesn't allow us the power to do that. But when the district assemblies and the agreement ministers begin to, if we have published, and I think Dre and the FM were doing this some time ago, where you're mentioning prices of products in the market.
That's right. So in fact, today we'll do that. We have sent 2 reporters there, so we'll do that right after you.
Excellent. So what happens is that then the consumers begin to know where things are cheaper. And then when we begin to move in there, the one who is pricing that high will rather than he's pricing himself out, and will have no option than to conform to the normal price that being given by TV. So I think that's a good one that we also have to encourage to help people. Ghanaians, let's face it, we are all part of it. We take advantage of situations and we try to be rich quick. And those things are not helping.
Mr. Jao, again, another question that has just come to mind, the question of the exchange rate. So I import product A at 12 cedis per dollar, and then I bring it into the country. I go and clear it at the port. By the time I'm done with everything, it's 15 cedis per dollar per unit. That's the calculation. And then all of a sudden, the rate of the dollar drops to about 10 cedis or 9 cedis. I have already stocked, paid all the cost on these things, and stored these products. Do I have to retail it at the prevailing exchange rate, or do I sell it at the rate at which I bought it? Because I cannot run at a loss. I must either break even or make profit.
So, my big brother, this is a dicey question. I agree. We agree and we appreciate the concern of the sellers. Yes, if you have bought some product at a certain level, you would want to exhaust or deplete your stock before you take the new price. But see, the most unfortunate that happens is that some will even go and buy at the new rates, but they will still come and maintain the price or the old price that they were doing, and that is not fair. But then, I mean, in my own small thinking, for example, if they have stock and prices go up, I mean, let's use fewer prices, I mean, for ease of analysis.
Right.
If they increase petrol prices, the filling station man would not say that, okay, well, I bought this old one at 5 cedis, now that it's increased, let me keep on selling at 5. When I go for the new one, I'll increase. They will increase it, I mean, immediately.
Right.
But when the prices are dropped, then we come with this argument that, well, I bought it at a higher price. So, see, if you want to be fair to ourselves, trading is lose and gain. And when we begin to play that fairly, it will iron out. I mean, at one point you may lose a little, at another point you may gain. And the net effect will be, zero. But of course, even if you have to deplete the old stock before you effect the new prices, yes, when the old stock is depleted and go for new one, please let it reflect.
Would you, as a principal statistician, make a strong case for products, for example, that affect children and infants? I see cereals, I see dairy products, all those things that are used to feed the children at that tender age. Would you make a strong case for us to wipe up some of the taxes off them so that the inflation would not start with the children right from the get-go, so that while they, even before they start working, they are being hit by inflation left, right, and center?
In fact, on the top of my head, my good brother, I will agree with you. I said that if we can even reduce prices on almost every commodity, I mean, to the barest minimum, so that, I mean, things become relatively cheaper, is good. But if you discuss that to, policymakers also tell you that is how the state also make money to do the other things that will be demand for, like roads and schools and hospitals. So it's quite a dicey situation because, like, the niche example you gave about the exchange rate, you mentioned about the port.
Yes.
In some cases, it's not the effect of the exchange rate per se, but probably they will tell you about the duties that they have to pay. Some even mention that those who are into cars, they buy the cars at a very affordable price outside, but by the time they come and clear it, the duties are more than like triple the price that they pay to the team. So if something can be done about the taxes, that's if it's doable. We will not pray for it. But of course, they also tell you the state needs those resources to be able to provide the other essentials that is a public good that they must provide for us.
I just got a message. Somebody says, yesterday, Professor Nim said inflation has risen from 41.2 to 42.2. What does that mean?
So it means that the cost of products this year, May, is relatively higher. It's about 42.2% higher than it was a year ago.
So if I used to buy a product at, say, 10 cedis, I need now 14 cedis, 20 pesos to be able...
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And if I have 100 cedis, that means that 42 cedis is already chopped off it.
So, excellent. So what you are trying to tell us is that if a year ago you were paid 100 cedis and you were buying the product for, let's say, 10 cedis, and come today, you are still earning the same 100, there's not a salary increment, it means now you may not be able to buy the product that you were buying a year ago because the price has gone up.
Well, so I'm looking at the inflation rate in Africa. Seychelles is at the top. And then Ghana is what? 3 places above Zimbabwe, who's on the floor. Sudan, who's lying on Zimbabwe. Sierra Leone on Sudan, and then Ghana. So 86.5 for Zimbabwe. Sudan 63.3, Sierra Leone 43.05, Ghana 42.2, Egypt 32.7, Burundi 32.61, Ethiopia 30.8, Malawi 28.8, Congo 24.93, Rwanda is 22.4, Nigeria is 22.22, Comoros is 20.9, Sao Tome and Principe is 20, Gambia is 17.37, Chad, and on and on and on. Why are we so down there when the gateway to Africa and we're down there like that?
My brother, I think we all agree now it's no more a secret that last year wasn't so good for us. I mean, at all fronts. be it the exchange rate fund, be it the financial services, everything. And so inflation, in fact, it was even worse. When we hit about 54 point something, we were far above Sierra Leone and co. But the good news is that, I mean, the policymakers, the government, and those who matter have been able to, turn things around, and we're kind of having a downward trend until this month, the May figure that we announced. And so let's hope and pray that maybe we want to observe what happens next month or two. Probably things could reverse, and then we might improve on the score, as you were mentioning.
Niger is doing 1%. South Sudan is doing 1.7 with all the troubles that they have had. Equatorial Guinea is doing 2.9. Benin is doing 3.8. Mali is doing 3.9. Tanzania is doing 4%. Libya is doing 4.1. Cape Verde is doing 4.8. Ivory Coast is doing 5.2. Central African Republic is doing 5.3. Gabon is doing 5.4. Swaziland is doing 5.7. Togo 5.8. Eritrea is doing 6.2. Somalia 6.2. Uganda 6.2. Namibia 6.3. Lesotho 6.7. South Africa 6.8. Cameroon 7.32. Morocco 7.8, Botswana 7.9, Mauritius 7.9, Kenya 8, Mozambique 8.23, Guinea 8.27, Liberia 8.27, Senegal 8.3, Tunisia 9.6, Mauritania 9.8, and on and on and on. What are they doing better than us?
Okay, so I'll bring your mind and the mind of the listeners to something. You see, yes, these people have good rates. That's fine. But you see, Ghana, because we kind of like embarking on a certain developmental agenda, and we all have taste. Now it's quite a foreign taste. And so, even in the midst of the challenges, products were still being made available, and most of these were importing them. And so the effect of the exchange rate was on the product. These countries that you have mentioned, in fact, I came back from one of these neighboring countries just last night. You go there, they have this good rate, but the products are not available. They are not there. We were to be paid in dollars. They could not even get the dollars, even for the bank. From an international, but they couldn't get dollars. But I think in our case, we realized that those things were essential, so people still went out there, got them to the country, and because it was already expensive out there, so when it came down here, the prices become so high, and that's how come it reflected the inflation. So even though our inflation is high, you realize we are still being able, that if you're able to make the income, you're able to live some good life in Ghana. But you go to those countries, you may not get the things because they're not there. They don't want to go and buy and come and affect the inflation. And so they put there, and they're limited to some certain standards, so to speak.
I'm looking at the money component of this report that I have here, tradingeconomics.com. That's where I'm sourcing this from. It talks about banks' balance sheet, cash reserve ratio, central bank balance sheet, deposit interest rate, foreign exchange reserves, interbank rate, interest rate, lending rate, loan growth, loans to private sector, money supply MO, money supply M1, money supply M2, money supply M3, private debt to GDP. Again, it goes back to the earlier conversations that people have been worried about our central bank, our local banks, the banking sector cleanup or collapse, its effect on our economy, and why our inflation continues to shoot up. What do you say about our local situation regarding these indices?
In fact, my brother, like I said, all of us, government, the central bank, finance ministry, we all appreciated. We came to the understanding that last year, last 2 years after last year, was not really good for us. Like you said, the financial sector cleaned up, and it affects the local currency, depreciation, and money supply issue, and that's why we're going to talk about now a zero financing, debt financing, something like that. So some of those macroeconomic indicators really went out of the roof. That we agree. And now the good news is that we are taking steps to make sure we correct those things. So now we've been able to put some control and steps on the local currency, and now it's getting some strength. And then now the banking sector, we are being told, is picking up after the cleanup. Those are not doing well, so savings are increasing and stuff like that. If you're able to also manage this debt exchange issue, it happens well. I'm pretty sure getting to the second half, towards the later part of the year, these macroeconomic indicators will begin to pick up well, and then things will normalize. Inflation will also be better.
The ease of doing business in Ghana also has, an effect on the inflation, for example, in terms of how confident business people are to go for even facilities and inject that capital into their business, foreign direct investment, and all of that, which will go on to create employment, industrialize. Then we'll rake in money through taxes and all of those issues to lessen our burden. Again, the business community have not been too happy about the inflation figures. If you talk to them one-on-one, they tell you, and yet, is there extra oxygen for them to hold on to while we try to beat down the inflation figures per our actions and policies?
Oh yes, my brother. In fact, if after December, inflation was 54%, and today we're talking about 42%, we've dropped about more than 10 percentage points in just a matter of 3-4 months. The business environment that you talk about, I'm particularly interested in that. I mean, the way we do business, I think all of us have to change our attitude. I think you're looking for some document to do business, my brother. It's just a matter of a second, but it will take you years. I mean, we have applied for some official document for more than 5 years, doesn't come. You go to the border, people have to cross with items, and the custom officials are there. They need to take some duty for the development of the state. But I think the way we do things, so you have people are smuggling things.
Right.
It's not necessarily because they don't want to pay the tax, but the bureaucracy that they go through, and the delay, and the embarrassment. I mean, how they even treat you. So the person, okay, it's better I go to the bush and give some twisted to or test to some gas there, and I go my way. So I think we all have to, this is our country. We are all trying to develop it. So everybody has to contribute his or her quota in his own small way. And so let's quicken the pace of doing it. It's the certificate award. Now we are talking about digitalization. Let's try to put everything online. I'm happy some of these are picking up. Now I think you pay your SNET, contributors fee online.
Right.
Now electricity is going up online, but I'll be sure to be putting the bill online for us to see. So let's do those things and make sure people who are coming to establish businesses are able to turn around quickly. And then once production increases, employment will increase, and their income will increase. Once production goes up, prices will come down.
COVID, Russia, Ukraine, the opposition. These are the key indicators that the government has blamed some of these figures on. Do you agree, first of all, or would you rather tilt towards the fact that from the research you have done, do these things have a reflection on it?
There's no way we can all, say that COVID never had an impact on our economy. We may just be deceiving ourselves. Indeed, the simple example I give to people is that if you watch the month of March to June 2020, the way prices skyrocketed. And there's something the economists will tell you, prices in our part of the world are sticking downwards. So once people took advantage of the COVID and they shot prices that high, they are unable to bring it quickly down low. So it's coming down, but it's taking time. And that's why we are seeing the inflation. So certainly we cannot run away from the fact that COVID disrupted the supply chain globally, and therefore things that we're importing, we're not getting them regularly, and the few that were being brought in, they brought it at extremely high prices. That is true. If you talk about the Russian-Ukrainian war, whether it's so close to Ghana or not, certainly somehow it may have an impact. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, are we still having that severe impact? If no, then we need to find out what we are not doing right. And that's how when you talk about the pie chart where you have listed the item, food imported, food local, and I said that for food local, these are items that we have control over. And so even if in the basket over 50 of those items are having higher prices, then that we should blame ourselves. If they're unable to produce cassava, if they're unable to produce onions, they have to go to Mali to import onions. Those are our own doing. If we were to take all our farmlands to mining, sooner than later we have no land to farm, this program will come back to it again. And so there's so many things that are happening that if we don't address them holistically, they will keep imparting on inflation and will always come out to this argument. And money is one of them. Now people are selling the farmland to get big money. So tomorrow you don't get plantain to eat and the plantain price is up.
I see. William has a question for you. William.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, you said you were disappointed by the 42.2% rate we had in May this year. What were you expecting?
As an ordinary Ghanaian who goes to market every day, I was expecting to see a drop so that I could see stability in the prices or like things going down. So when it was coming down, we were happy. No, don't forget we all go to the market to buy. So nobody wish Ghana ill. They want a good thing for the country so we can all enjoy it.
I'm asking because as a technical person, were you following a certain trend and did you have a certain figure in mind? Because I know, for instance, the US, they are targeting 2% and they are disappointed because they are not getting anywhere close. So that if you get a figure like 42.2 and you say you were disappointed, was there any way you had a certain figure based on the trends?
No, unfortunately, for us at GSS, we normally don't do. It's really not ethical. You, the referee, become the player.
Okay.
It's a central bank and the Minister of Finance do the targeting.
Okay.
But I was speaking from the point that, this is a Ghanaian who goes to the market, and so if things are becoming good, he's expecting to be better for him to enjoy.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mr. Jaho, I thank you very much indeed for your time, my name.
Thank you for the opportunity, my brother.
Great.
Good morning.
John Foster Jaho is a principal statistician with the Ghana Statistical Service.
The nation is full of surprises. That we still live in crisis. And to Kokosha and prices. If you for some who play one more time, and then I doom so watching on a pipe. Tonya Maso, and you bedroom the five. Fele will gallon, not save your life. When you're the I want to into our tight. The nation is full of surprises. But seeing that we still live in crisis.
Friday night, no.
Crisis. If you for
don't worry. We got you covered. Tomorrow,
Tonya Maso,
the Corporate Connect at the Gold Coast Restaurant here in Accra, right next to the Accra Tourist Information Center. We got something special coming up for you. Something really special. And we're hanging out, live band music, a lot to drink and chill, have fun. Inflation has nothing on us. Yeah. We sussing. It's gonna be live band music. Beautiful high life. Now that the Grammys is considering high life, we will play Beboa Manati. DJ IBM. And 3FM Corporate Connect, a wine network empowered by 92.73 FM, supported by TV3, proudly sponsored by Origin. It's the biggest outdoor event you find in June. Like-minded people, entrepreneurs, top business executives, CEOs, and all of us. We'll be there. Fun corporate games, tasty grills over chilled, refreshing drinks, live band action, non-stop jam by seasoned DJs, guest artists. Oh my God! Friday 16th. And we're bringing you a spiritual blend of Jamaican reggae and indigenous roots African music, affectionately called Kuchoko. It is here all the ancestors and spirits of Africa will descend to celebrate the Kuchoko Roots Festival 2023, happening live at the Alliance Francaise Accra on Saturday 24th of June, 7 p.m. sharp till you pass out. Artists in action are Black Rasta, your Kuchoko legend, His Royal Excellency Taj Weeks from Lucia, Kishan Dea from St. Vincent, Rasim Posh and Zetmo from Burkina Faso. The rest of the soldiers are Kuchoko warriors from Ghana, Ras Kuku from Pom, Ras Bomba, Konkara, Ja Vibes, Black Messiah, Ras Preacherman, Mighty Orthodox Band, and the Vibration Kings Band. Special Kuchoko guest for 2023 is Samuel Owusu, a high life legend. Samuel Owusu, high life legend. MCs are King Lagazi and Ras Kwame Malcolm. This year, Kuchoko Roots Festival comes with a Cocoa Roots Festival. It comes with drinks, free cocoa, box with kose, masa, vegan, kebab, and kuli kuli. All this for free. And this is crazy. You are either at the Kuchoko Roots Festival 2023 or you are in Abonsam Gem or show hell. The rate is only 100 Ghana cedis. Date is Saturday the 24th of June 2023. If you don't have a ticket yet, don't blame me if you don't get a slice of that excitement. Rate is 100 Ghana cedis flat. Date is Saturday, 24th of June 2023. Time is 7 p.m. sharp. Media partners TV33 FM, Onya FM, and 3news.com. Sponsored by Rasta Choco Malt, Macbansi, Is It, and Vegan Pots. Okay, we'll cross over to the markets shortly because Janet is standing by at the market. But first, a few messages. When we return from these messages, we'll get you to also be part of the conversation. I hope the public education so far has sunk in. Now you tell us what you feel and what you know. See you shortly.
My people, Philadelphia, our very own Adansi Travels is 10 years old. I hope you remember what they did on their 5th anniversary with a 555 figure and even the power of 8.
Then this will be a 10-day thing.
That is right. We are going on a 10-day adventure in Dubai on a chartered.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, we break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, we break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble.
0.7. You've heard from officialdom. You heard first from Professor Samuel Enim, who's a government statistician, and then you heard from Mr. John Foster Jaho, who's a principal statistician with the Ghana Statistical Service. Now, let's hear from the market. And we sent Janet Question out there. Janet, good morning.
Good morning to you, Johnny, and good morning to the rest of the team in studio.
Great. Now, what can you share from Nima Market where you are presently?
So, we're here at the Nima Market. A lot of selling going on, not so much buying because we know the obvious prices have escalated. But I understand that is how it usually is in the morning. Things are calm in the morning and it gets a little heated in the afternoon. So we'll engage with a few traders, foodstuff traders, to find out what prices have been, how prices are doing now, and how they are coping. So that is the agenda this morning.
And the prices on the documents vis-a-vis what you find on the ground, are there any disparities? What are the actuals that are on the market?
So from what I have drawn this morning, it is not any different from what we have on the index. But the abattoir men, meat sellers, think it's the same for them. Prices have not really increased on on their side, they feel some of the traders do it intentionally. That is their opinion. But a few of the traders we have interacted here do not think it is so. They have different positions. So we'll engage with them.
Right, go ahead. Let's hear from them. Go ahead, please.
So there is Abena here. Abena is a tomato seller. Abena prefers to speak cheese.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Abena, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Abena, what you saying?
Yes. Abena, we have spoken about Sena in Yamasiko into last month. It drew saying and an out on and at this year, send out on.
Boss, Mammy ton 1,000, but this month with the boss here 25 to 40 million.
And prices no. Almost mao. No masisano anate. Send a wow shiny Yamasiko no was out to pay.
I'm spend free her to weigh a Burkina Jimmy.
It's way for Burkina.
I'm spend free her.
In total, what have you now see Burkina?
Let me then do Burkina.
Okay, if you would Burkina bad, do you have to pay anything at the borders?
I'm going to fan of Burkina Diva. In some of the banana, I'm the Fanny Bia Ed Toso. And to be funny, the Drana, Libona, yes, yeah, for so.
If he go fair now, see our border Nina, what the account and what to price anymore, and I say, send you a toma on the sun or Toma.
Said your summer and son with some Noah.
Abna, where now we are the show. We are with your dying car, with your number. Oh, no, mamma, no.
One mammy only a hook room of Fabiaba.
If you don't know, we should just so.
So, bar none on a better house.
Okay, you see, we are also. We are now the Woody Didi, we are now the Tonta, the way and none of them be. Okay. Is it to see on the Yasunia Mimuno? Sena in Nipasito last month and as I said last year. Sana or Motono. Ija is low and I say, what do you think?
To see on who said someone 9% brand and not a market in the Ekakra. But to see on any boy bed, Genedia. I'm Busana Moko. Yes, to see ye used to smile and to scan my age. To see as a Salaba Pin Station 100 cities. First, now 70, 50 per Ubenia. But you see, I need any boy again.
So, just like Abena said, prices have increased. It is warding off buyers for them and definitely affecting her cost of living.
Right.
We have Munira here as well.
Go ahead.
Munira sells beans. And Munira is educated. Munira can speak English. Munira, good morning.
Good morning.
So, I can see, Munira, where do you source your beans from? Where do you buy them from?
The beans, we have different types. We have the Niger own, which comes from Niger. The Burkina comes from Burkina, and the Nigeria from Nigeria. And we have the Ghana one too.
So each of them have their own different prices?
Yeah, sure.
Which is the most expensive?
The Nigeria one.
The Nigeria one is the most expensive. Is it because it has a peculiar taste or the procedures in cooking is quite easy, quite difficult? What is it about the Nigerian one?
Not really, but just that the demand is high.
The demand for the Nigerian one is high?
Yeah, sure.
So, Munira, having sourced all these beans from their various bases, how would you compare the prices? How we used to buy it last month or last year, is that how you are selling it now, or prices have increased?
Oh, okay. For beans, it's a seasonal thing.
Okay.
This time is the season for beans. So we call it new time.
Okay.
That's the new time for beans.
The season for beans is called the new time.
Yeah. So for now we are in the new time. So the price decreased.
Okay. So as we have it now, the prices of beans has fallen. Sorry, have fallen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the as of last month to this month, prices of beans has fallen.
Sure.
Okay. So if you have this is so Johnny, I am holding the small, how do you call this cup?
Margarine cup.
Yes. margarine cup, and she is filling it with beans. So, Munira, if I buy, how much do you sell it for? 5 cedis. So Munira sells the half margarine cup of beans for 5 cedis.
We call it the small margarine tin.
Yes, small. The small cup. We have it here, the small cup. So which bean type is this? This is the Ghana one. The Ghana one, okay.
But so have you checked now? So in the market usually, there's either the base of the margarine tin or olonka. Sometimes it's punched in. Have you checked if it's flat or it's punched in?
So Munira has not done that to her.
Okay, all right.
Have the face on, so that there's no such thing here.
Right.
No patting. Munira says there's no patting.
There's no patting. They call it patting.
They call it patting.
Okay.
They call it patting.
I see.
So Munira sells her half margarine cup of the Ghana beans for 5 cedis. How about the Nigerian beans? That's the most expensive, you say? Yeah, 8 cedis for a cup. So the Nigerian beans is 8 cedis, and the Nigerian is also 5 cedis. And the other one, 5 cedis. So the Nigerian is the most expensive on here.
Why is the Nigerian and Ivory Coast Abidjan? Is there a taste difference?
So apparently she says the Nigerian one is the most demanded.
Because of what?
Is it because of the taste? Is there peculiar taste? Most of them, they like the big ones. So the Nigerian one is the big one, she says.
Okay, I see. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So we have Munira has a child. Munira, is this what you use to cater for your child? I'm a student. Student. AUCC. That's nice. So you pay your fees yourself, I think. My husband supports you. Your husband supports you. That's lovely. So you also pick some proceeds from here for yourself, right? And is it worth it? Is this supporting you enough? Very, 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 very sure. So in your opinion, the beans market is good. So Johnny, you heard it from Munira. Munira is not having much of a challenge. She thinks the beans is helping her support herself for school. So we speak with Willie. Helen was saying this morning about the prices of Willie affecting her water consumption. Helen has stopped eating water because of Willie. She enjoys with Willie, but Willie has become so expensive. So we'll find out from Terry here. Terry tells Willie. Terry, good morning. Terry also prefers to cook tea. So Terry, good morning.
Let Terry speak up, please.
Good morning. Terry, Pastor Memu say, "When no what no, Ibia on a separate basis. Which ones do you have? The one in our waha. 3 CDs, 5 CDs, 10 CDs, 20 CDs. So 3 CDs, 5 CDs, 20 CDs. The difference is near them. I don't know if boy a thing too. A bit to see. It's the difference is near prices. I'm sorry, sizes. Sorry. If 3 CDs, there no. If we hitting in Africana. No, enti pato wele no. Say what last month, last 2 months. Now would they compare this month at prices no, ya 2 and 9. It's last month 3 cities now on the same. 3 cities, 2 cities and then it's 3 cities. Okay. It's the last month now it's on the 2 cities. This month there's 3 cities. Now 5 cities there. Then it's 20 cities. 5 cities there no, 20 cities. So we used to sell we will send some visuals in for our viewers on Facebook. So the Wele here, it has quite some weight. She used to sell it for 5 cities last month. But this month it is 40 cities. Adena ne boy dey. Nyama sikon na yam boy dey no. Na nyama sikon, nyama nko ema wo business ni. Wele ni boy dey, na esi atutu. Wele ni boy dey, na matin. Wa se fo no beto a, na omo so de omo de aka ho atum. Sa. Wele 1 cedi or at 3 cedi. So we heard from Terry here too. She sells Willie, and they're saying Willie she used to sell for 5 CDs is now 20 CDs.
Willie 20 CDs.
20 CDs now.
Wow. Willie.
And then what we used to sell for 2 cedis is now 3 cedis.
I see.
So those ones, the 2 cedis ones don't have that much weight. They are the small thin willies we get in our wache and our okra stews. So we are in the abattoir now.
Okay.
We made a couple of friends here. There's Abdul Samed. Abdul here sells cow meat and goat meat. Abdul, good morning.
Morning.
You are speaking English, right? Or we are doing tree? You speak Hausa, Abdul. You speak English. So, Abdul, there I can see some cow meat here. I know there's a boneless and there's the one with bones, isn't it? Okay.
The boneless is 30.
The boneless is 30. And the bones, the one with the bones?
The bone is 25.
25. So, boneless 30. Okay. So, Abdul, how much is a pound of boneless?
The pound is 30.
30.
Yeah.
Sorry, of goat. How much is a pound of goat?
30.
30. And then the cow meat?
We are 25, we are 30.
Boneless 30.
Bone is 25.
So, Abdul, if I had come here last month or last 2 months, how much would you have sold it to me for? The same price?
Yes, of course.
So no factors have caused hikes in the prices of cow meat for you. It's still the same price.
The same price, unless intestine. Okay.
Unless intestine. But how is it that some people have their prices increased? We are coming from the tomato side and the cabbage, the vegetable, wele, and the beans, and they are saying things have become expensive. Actually, the beans price has fallen, but tomato says things have become expensive. Wele says, but how is it different for the meat? How different is the meat? Is it that?
Now, cow is very expensive.
Okay. So how do you have it the same as of last 2 months? How is it still the same now?
If not that, the money will not catch. That's why.
If not that?
The money will not catch.
The money will not catch. So where do you source these from?
If we didn't say 25 and then 30,
people won't buy. So is it that you are getting it expensive, but you are being considerate to the buyer? That's why you are selling it the same, or you get it the same and you are selling it.
That's why we are selling the same.
Oh, so it has become expensive, but you are being considerate.
So we can't increase.
But you can't increase it because people won't buy.
Yes.
So Johnny, we just heard from Abdul.
All right.
Abdul says it has become expensive. Buying meat from his distributor has become expensive, but he's selling it the same because he's being considerate.
Okay.
He's being considerate of the buyer. So we have
that should be our final one then, and then we will wrap up.
Okay.
Great.
So we will go to Emma sells condo and okra and garden eggs. So when you come to Emma's stand here at Nima, your banku and okra is sorted out.
All right, go ahead.
So we'll speak with Emma shortly, and then we can cross over to you in the studio. Emma, good morning, ma. Emma prefers to speak tree, please. Emma, good morning, ma.
Morning.
Ma, Pato, Miss Me who say More Waha, Banche More Waha, me who Kumasa Kwami who Nyadwa. Pato, a Moreno, so what's that? And then I'll say good. I can say good day with the paint rubber net. Paint rubber net. And it's offer the smallest paint rubber. Now, say Moria Mammy, I'll bet one mammy say
50 Ghana.
And 50 Ghana. That's what I mean, paint rubber net. So please, we'll be sharing videos shortly so that
the videos are actually on the 3FM 927 on Facebook now as we speak.
Perfect. So we will share shortly this particular one, so they can be this is the smallest paint rubber, Johnny, and it is going for 50 cedis. Emma, Pato, last 2 months and last month, Leba Hanka we will be 50 Ghana, sir. 50 Ghana, sir. And see, a Moreno, Yatum, and I am 2 days. Yatum, Dabendi, 2. Oh, you're too much. You're too much. It is from as of January till now. Send a price in Star next year. Now, if you manage your one as well. Oh, your daughter, me and cow, you manage for this, say, a credit. You want me talk 5 hours. What's the mammy saying? 5 cities, no memory, sir. 5 cities, AM, sir. 5 years. 5 years, 10 cities, I can say 5 years, 10 cities. I can say 5, 10 cities. Now, Emma, so when we are with him, what's the thing in neighbor? A Bruno. Bruno Bantam. A Brony, the other free crossing at the Bremy. Ghana higher. Ghana higher, Bantimon, If you almost would talk to your mohono, no more two, and no more two, and Emma would two.
Oh, they do. I'm not the only two to be when you're no more system, and yet.
Mini would be in Como, me bahano, would say, on my penny baha, on my penny baha, ebe can be tremor.
Oh, buy your bat or babe. Or babe, yes, market now, my. Yes, what buy you won't move the hour. You won't be our Jomuha. It's a man, no,
okay. Emma, so Emma here says the president was here, came to the Nima market before he was voted in as president. He came to and when he was elected president, came here as well, promised them that prices were going to reduce for traders to be happy.
Okay.
But Emma says they have not seen any relevant change. He's actually heated here. So Emma is also complaining that things have actually become expensive. Condo, as he used to buy as of last year, has changed. Things are relatively increasing day by day. So that's what we have here from Nima Market.
Great. Janet, thank you so much. And Miss Inin as well. Great job, ladies. We're grateful.
Pleasure, Johnny.
Thank you so much indeed. And, this is the state of affairs at the markets, right?
What could invest here? You say body and everything. Oh, there. Bonjour! Yeah! Bonjour!
But dear.
And then bow out crowd there, and then you for the agro, new body because. Send the pass to bed Jesus or Munye baby 1 year or 2 years advance. Se how open dancing ribbon porch crowd this October 6,000 2 years. And to me say there, me say Kaloko hire be there Kaswa and I'm at Chokwa granted weekend. Now because me Kaswa 2 years to crap on and new 1 year and Drakra 1 year and Timmy Chokwa have a beer weekend. Namiko. They then bought a crowd and a blah, and then for the agro, ni boarding power.
It depends on the kind of room you are renting. These days, the prices are skyrocketing, so it tends to be a bit expensive. But I'm fine. But I do understand on the average, prices are soaring higher, and it's a bit difficult for a number of people. Currently, I'm in a single room self-contained. It costs about 350 thereabouts. Yeah, so it's quite okay. But I'm planning on moving to a chamber and hall, which will be considerably higher.
But yeah. Oh my God, Ellen, the market speak your reality.
Absolutely. Even hearing about the price of Willy has really floored me. I think was it the Willy or I think the Willy when Janet asked, it gone up twofold within the space of 1 month.
Okay.
So a bit worrying for sure.
Right. William.
I mean, the food inflation is not something that anybody can joke with because we subsist on food. And if Willy, which is not so rich in protein, is costing that much, then we really have to pay attention to this planting for food and jobs and all the agric sector operations in this country. Because basically, if our agriculture is going well, it will save us even a lot in terms of the forex,
right,
which also fuels inflation. So basically, I don't think we've done so well. We haven't at all. Yeah.
I was going to say, when Johnny asked the rep from the GSS who we spoke with, I believe that's who we were speaking with. I could be wrong. We spoke with
Mr. Yahoo.
And he mentioned, and you asked about whether that intervention to sell foodstuffs at the ministries had an impact. And he said it seemed to have a bit of impact in Accra. At the time that it was introduced, the minister at the time, Minister for Food and Agri, said that, well, it's something that they're trialing. So if it had a positive impact, and the indications were there that if the transport network is sorted out and transport, is reduced, because that's the only reason why we could get it at that price, is because
he said that consistency. Their index is that it has to be there. It has to be there for a consistent number of time, a period of time, and then they can
adequately measure. So whilst it had that marginal impact on the price of foodstuffs, I think what it then tells us is that transport, everything is interconnected.
Okay,
and we have to think about those things.
Think about something like that. Well, here's Helen's favorite friend.
That is a wrong perception. The statistics that we compile in this ministry do not support that. I mean, the size of Kenkey that you're talking about, we've had this our 5th year of planting for food and jobs. Nobody complained about the size, reducing size of Kenkey until this year. Why? Because there was a drought last year in the southern part of this country, a very heavy drought, both in the major and minor season in the forest and the southern part. People forget these things very easily, and that affected supplies. This year, fortunately, apart from the 1 month delay in the major season rains in the south, the rains have been excellent. The naysayers were saying a few months ago, including the former president, that there's going to be famine. In fact, we are on the cusp of a major boom in food production, to the extent that if you monitor the tamale market, for instance, grain market, prices are tumbling, and we are at the beginning of the harvest. The harvest will be at its peak and completed by the end of December.
Former Greek minister there, very former Greek minister. We'll activate the phone lines now for you to call into the show. 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, and 055-691-0154.
Bonjour! Yeah! Bonjour!
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, Johnny. Good morning to you and then your colleagues in the studio.
Talk to me.
This is Clifford from Adenta.
Right, talk to me.
Yeah, Johnny, I believe that because of your job is to go and represent the views of the people, that is why you people are still having the energy to talk about this government and food inflation. But I believe everybody knows what is going on in this country, but we seem not to speak about it. Because at first, I know I could go and buy Banco just last year, 1 cedi 50 pesos, but now 3 cedis, and then it is reduced to 1 cedi 50 pesos. And fish, the head was just 7 cedis. Now when you go to buy, they said 10 cedis. So imagine I alone, if I'm spending 50 cedis a day for food alone, what a income, and then nothing has come again. Like my wife will spend the same 50 cedis, my children the same 50 cedis. So if we are spending 150 cedis a day times a month, how much is going to be?
Okay.
And how much is our salary? So this government, I believe that the government has come to just give us treasure and the kind of suffering that we are suffering now, and people will die out of that, because it's just that Ghanaians don't listen. But if we were to be listening, like Nyahanya Hotamokulu said, that we will learn a bitter lesson under Kufuor, and we seem not to understand. Right. But now we are, yes.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Good morning. Sorry about that. You can also call at 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa barakatuh. Talk to me.
Thank you very much. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
I go to the market myself. I go to the market myself. You see, I was very, very, happy when I hear the market, your women in the market asking some prices.
Right.
Look, the meat, the boneless, the boneless, you are talking about 30 series boneless.
Right.
Johnny, if you cut it, if you want to cut it in pieces, you will not get 5 pieces of it. I can tell you for a fact.
Wow.
You will not get 5 pieces of it. The boneless. I go to buy it all the time. Look, what is happening is very, very serious. And the scale has been adjusted. So you will not get the quantity given to you. I'm telling you, it's serious. Look, today there is no cassava. There is no 10 cedis cassava. 10 cedis, no 10 cedis cassava is not there. You cannot get 10 cedis cassava. And plantain is 3 cedis. Three for 10 cedis. 3 for 10 cedis. Tomato, I bought tomato, the tomato paste, the big one. It's 50 cedis. I bought the 50 cedis. Last 3 days. 50 cedis. I go to the market myself. Fish. Small fish. Small ones. I mean, 10 cedis each. I have to buy 5. 50 cedis.
Okay.
Look, there's a fish, I like, they call it angel.
Okay.
A pound, 1 kilo of angel, before last year it was 18 cities. Today, 1 kilo of angel is 35 cities.
Okay. All right.
I mean, we are living in serious economic difficulties in this country. And this government must stop blaming its predecessor and put things together for us to live.
Thank you very much. You too. Good morning.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you, boss?
Oh, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Wagbo. You are boy, you may.
Bye. Feel.
You mean a prime minister? Hey, Johnny. I'm Tony Waffle. Ona, minda ni mwasiake beni nye face or reality ya no ne ngona yi. We want is small station here because kemo ko male nye je na kuskome neken. This is the reality, Johnny. When you go to the market, this is what the things you see is what your woman on the ground is telling us. That's the reality. That's what we call reality. Johnny, she was sane ko sane denje nke foshinye be. Yes, I know now what we Benimi Nale. You are Sani Wogi.
Okay.
Mean to course, I mean number. Wintoni a training small boy Kwami wa assembly member, small boy.
Okay. All right. I'm sure that later we can arrange that.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, baby, and I'm here of you.
Feel. It will be well. Oh no, we'll talk to the Gobe sellers. Good morning.
Good morning, Jody.
Yes, sir.
I think.
Oh, sorry about that. Please call back 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know where to start from.
Start from the
beginning. My name is Michael.
Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Mr. Johnny, the system, I don't even know what to say. Look, if fridge won't be off my fridge because the light bill I can't afford.
So your fridge is off?
But if it's not off, how will I survive? Water bill, light bill here, and then what you're supposed to do. So it's like we've not even been to school in this country. Meanwhile, we have the necessary skills to work. However, the little we are doing on our own too, the system is pulling us down. Pulling us. I go to the market to buy stuff and then I get worried. In fact, I was someone who never took meat and stuff. But right now I have no other choice. Because I can't afford my salmon any longer. Salmon used to buy 10 series, now they're 25, 30. Johnny, I've gone back to taking a cocoa because I can't afford.
All right. Thank you. Okay, sure. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Your name and location, please.
I'm James, calling from Samam.
Talk to me, James.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Very often what we hear are the negative effects. That is the negative outcomes. But I think it is high time, we draw our leaders also to, the causes. I see three main causes to all these problems. And the leading one, I think, is the external shocks. How are we often prepared for these external shocks? It happened in 1950. During these cocoa prices problems on the international market, that whenever there were sharp drops, and then the sharp increases. It brought a lot of dislocations to the economy. The government's response to it led to those political crises, the Martinique and all that. And we had it also in 1960s when a similar slump in the cocoa price, a similar factor, also threw out the incumbent government. And then look at what happened in 1970s. That is OPEC, when the OPEC people did their thing, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, with the oil embargo. It threw the economy out of gear. And then we saw the consequence. And then another external shock, the 2020s.
Right.
The war and all that. And then let's look at also the internal factors. We have internal sabotage. Let's be frank with that. And it's ongoing. Coming from those who want to drag you down. And then we have even internal betrayal to one's own government. So let's always, we should not look side of these three main factors. The external shocks, the internal sabotage, the internal betrayal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Sorry for keeping you on. Sorry.
No problem. Can't worry. Mamiwa. We want to worry with the phone number. They not show you in full. I'm in the 1 city say that when you in 2016, be on a 5 city. Come back to me, Kwabenya. I'll come 4 city, 5 city. Banko, this me come na 3 city. Johnny, can na bubu. They can come with kono. Tiwanyo, big new shareable.
No, you need Baba Ona guy.
That the man like what man. Obanu no how get That's not it shouldn't start. President Kufuor, I'll continue calling you a liability. You thought that a ball of 21 Ghana city, and so many people can buy it. Now, have you stopped eating 20? Look, now see, Gobe. The reason why Gobe is just saying, look, there's a small couple of Gobe. Is it not 8 city and 5 city at what? Nima Market. That's less near to the residence of what? The liability president. No matter how many about okay, Mahabu, you have to castle or comedy. Amamofo, Amamoboni, Unupa. So, Mamoko,
okay.
010. Do you like it that way? What legacy are you living? Don't know. You don't know what is done the way you feel. What are you talking about? For the past 6 months, I'm not going to I'm into fashion. Buy anything but bless your matters in house. But then I can lock a shop and something to inside. It's really sad. The president should do something about it. Look, as we are talking, from the look of people, see that what? Inflation is not, especially food inflation. A whole is still rigid, 54%. And I cry 44%. Is it not a cause of worry? I went to the market yesterday to buy tomatoes. 10 Ghana cedi. She told me that what? Now you will not get Ghana tomato, Burkina. And the boss, 4,000 Ghana cedi. How can you make money? Please, no more. We tried you.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Sir Robert, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, my brother.
Great.
You know, when you want to make someone rich, assuming that you want to make Robert rich, it's not a matter of changing my name to Dangote. If my status remains the same, and you change my name to Dangote, I will still be poor. But you have to give me well-defined richness. So I can remain Robert when you give me what can actually make me rich or define someone to be labeled as a rich man, I will be rich. So if Ghana economy remains the same and statistical services decided to actually massage the figures, reduce the figures to actually sound, well in the ears of Ghanaians, what you have done this morning, you're going to expose them. And you really expose them. My brother, sometimes when some of these guys are talking, they should know that there are equally people in this country who also went to the school. And they should even know that you, the one that they are talking to, you are intellectual. I don't know whether they are forgetting that they are talking to you. And you see somebody coming from Statistical Services Department doesn't even know the inflation figure. He even said that inflation is even reducing. He has even reduced. You can play that part of his voice. for him to listen to. He has even disgraced himself this morning. And I must encourage you for what you have done this morning by getting access or going to the market and ask the market women. Before you can even say that inflation will reduce, all the driven factors, you must see certain changes or variation in all the driven factors. Today, as we speak,
right,
there is none of these inflation-driven factors that can even determine inflation coming down or not. They are all going up. They are all exacerbating and aggravating. So how can you come out to say that inflation will going to reduce within the short possible time? I'm totally disappointed in this gentleman that you interviewed this morning.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Robert,
my handsome brother.
Grateful. Thank you very much indeed. Good morning. Maybe final caller. Hello, good morning.
Juliet.
Juliet, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm greater than Accra. Talk to me.
Donny Hughes.
Yes, madam.
My little girl can even eat 10 cedis loaf of bread.
Hey.
I send a board. If you see the 5 cedis loaf of bread, you can't describe it. A crate of egg which was sold for 15 cedis to 20 cedis is now 50 cedis. The economy is very sick. Why? We can't even continue with this kind of bad leadership that we're experiencing. It's so sad. When you talk about it, people say, oh, it's because of COVID, it's because of this, it's because of that. They should stop shifting blame. Enough of that. Good morning.
Good morning. Matahado. Okay. We have to make way and have a Father's Day conversation. Father's Day conversation.